Hi everyone, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and today I'm going to make a spooky and snarky fun card with a couple new stencils. Now these are both part of the September release at a Colorful Life Designs. I have some cardstock and some ink pads from Catherine Pooler, mainly just this verbena, but I will grab blackjack as well for a nice dark color. But simple in design, came together quickly, and this was such a fun card. So here's a photo of the finished card to show you the direction that we're headed. There's actually no stamping. It's all stenciling. I love when Mary Kay at a Colorful Life Designs builds in some sentiment options into her stencils, because it makes for such quick and easy cards, especially if you don't want to go that stamping step. Now, first of all, I have the Spooky Web stencil. This is a 6x6. It's a delicate one. You can use it with pixie spray, but in this case, you can see I'm just using my little stick mat from Altenew to hold that down. Now, I wanted to go lighter in color, so I'm actually using just some residual ink from my blending brush. This is the Rabbit Hole Designs. I find that these brushes are so great if I want that nice, subtle color. If I don't want it super saturated and dark, I find that these are definitely what I go for. Now in this case, I'm just going to line up the Wednesday image to the lower left of the composition. I wanted that purple spider web in the back, but I'm going to put her little silhouette in this blackjack color down on the lower left of the composition. Now I do decide I want to make her lips a different color, kind of that verbena color. So I grab these little tiny blending brushes here that I got from Amazon, and I fill in just her lips and then ultimately mask that off so it doesn't get ink blended with the black. Now I'm going to come in with my Altenew blending brushes, and I'm going to come in with that blackjack. Now the reason I switched to this blending brush is because I find that if I really want that deep, rich, saturated color, I find that these work really well. I don't know if it's because they're kind of lower profile and I could really kind of apply the pressure close to the paper. I'm not sure what it is, but I find that if I want really deep saturated color and a lot of ink, that I'm going to grab these little Altenew blending brushes. So they both have a very important purpose in my craft room. I just kind of use whatever one I need for that particular purpose. So I'm just going to blend this all together and fill in this part of the design, and just kind of rotate as needed to kind of fill it in as dark black as I can get with this blackjack. So I'm just going to remove this here and show you the design. Actually, I'm going to line it back up and do some more masking because I want to use one of the sentiments, but I did want to clean it off first so I didn't get residual black ink where I didn't want it. So I'm just kind of using my mint tape to mask around any potential openings so I don't get this blackjack ink where I don't want it on the design. So I'm doing the I am not perky for the front of the card. It's just funny. I don't know if you've watched the show Wednesday. That's what the stencil is called, according to Wednesday. But I'm doing I'm not perky, and then on the inside, I'm going to do that I prefer spooky. But this is a fun way to continue the design on the inside of the card. Again, I'm going to do just a light ink blending, probably even lighter than on the front of the card, with my Rabbit Hole Designs blending brush and that purple. And then I'm going to do the blackjack again for the I prefer spooky. And again, I will mask off any openings if I need to so I don't get ink where I don't want it. So this is such a fun way to use not only the sentiments but the cool design from the front of the card with just a pop of color with the purple. I know Wednesday probably wouldn't wear purple, but I feel like it's pretty close to black, right? Anyway, it's smirky. It's smirky and fun. It's snarky and spooky and fun. I'm going to get my words sorted here. I have not had enough coffee yet today, evidently. So now I decide to cut down this panel. This is a really cool rectangle die. I will link it below. One of my crafty friends sent it to me. It was so fun and such a cool addition to my stash. But I'm just using some mint tape to hold this down, and I will run it through off screen through my die cutting machine. I have a Spellbinders Platinum 6. I use one of those manual die cutting machines, and then another friend, my sweet friend Judy, sent me this new pokey tool with a mushroom on it, and I love it. And look at this. I can just run the pokey edge along, and it pops out all these little die cut squares. It's so satisfying. So this just kind of gave it a little funky, whimsy look. Now here I decided I didn't want it to be white on white. I really wanted to accentuate that. Here I'm using my little Hoover. I have one of these tiny mini Hoovers in my craft room, which really helps kind of get any little million die cuts like that. but I did want to ink blend on the edge, so I'm just doing ink to paper. I just folded up a piece of copy paper just so I don't get that all over my work surface, and I can keep it from getting on the inside of the card. Just clean up my work surface here and then attach that to the card base. So I have some tape runner here. I'm not going over the openings because I don't want the sticky to come through. I'm just kind of going on the inside part of the card panel. I'll attach that down, and that black ink blending on the edges really helps that design or die cutting kind of pop off the composition. Now I'm coming in with some white gel pen here. I think this is, it's not Uniball. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. Anyway, you guys know I have multiple sets here. Actually, I grabbed my Uniball. That's what I went for because I couldn't get the other one to go more smoothly. So kind of putting some highlights on her braids, kind of drawing it in, and I decided to do highlights on her lips, and I kind of mess it up. So a little bit of a train wreck for the next couple minutes, but I'm going to show you how I fixed it. I went over her lips to do a highlight, and then I kind of botched it and didn't like how it looked. So the way I decided to cover it up was to grab a blending brush and then that ink pad. So this is I forgot what they're called. Those Zig water brush pens. This is a Zig blending brush, and I'm just using that to pounce some ink into my Verbena ink pad and then basically cover up my mistakes. So it doesn't 100% cover it, but look what I did here. I totally got some of that white residual on my ink pad. So wouldn't recommend that. Be more careful. I think what happened is that blending brush lifted the white gel pen, and then I transferred it onto my ink pad. So I think it's okay, but just be careful. But I was able to use that blending brush to kind of cover up my mistake, and then I could go in and put the highlight where I wanted it. Now, to finish the card, I have one of these awesome polka dot blingage from A Colorful Life Designs. These came out, I think, in August. Super fun, different than some of the other colors in the lineup, but these are flat back sequins without holes in them, and y'all know I love them. I'm trying to figure out, did I switch to a different one? No, I didn't. I did end up using those. So put them down in an odd number on the composition. I have my little highlights. I have my ink blending. Used 2 of the new stencils. Didn't have to do any stamping, and I have this fun snarky funny card. So thank you so much for spending time with me. Be sure to check out the rest of the September release. It's awesome. Use my coupon and save some cash. AmyFan10, and I'll catch you next time.